The field one for the crowd. And
I got one.
okay.
So, as you guys know, the pro-life movement in the state of Ohio is very large, and it's very important to many members of not only the Akron College Republicans, but I'm sure the College Republicans nationwide. So what would you do to help push that pro-life effort in the state of Ohio and keep it strong through the presidential year, especially on college campuses?
Part of my platform includes a coalition building, where we want to have chapters partner with individual groups on campus, whether it's debate with the college Democrats, whether it's with other like-minded conservative groups, concealed carry, pro-life groups, because when you have those groups together out of many one, it creates a more visible presence on campus. When I went to George Washington University a couple years ago in DC, in the big university yard, we partnered with a pro-life group on campus, and we put out about 1,000 crosses in the middle of the university yard. Thousands of students walked through each day, and they saw the college Republicans partnering with the pro-life group, standing up for life. So I think partnering with individual organizations on campus, as well as statewide partnering. If we did, the Federation did an event with Ohio Right to Life, as well as doing events with other conservative groups around Ohio, I think is an extremely powerful thing. It's something we can't take for granted. So yes, partnering with pro-life groups and any conservative group is definitely going to be something I'm going to do.
I'm a very big advocate for pro-life. I am zero exceptions for abortion. And I think it's very important. I think that's a great question. And as chair of the OCRF, I would ensure that not only do our chapters have the resources to, have great activism and partner with other groups on their campus and throughout the state, but also with other chapters, because we will have the regional directors next year. And that'll be one thing that we can utilize, is having the regional directors work with all the chapters within the region and have them all do maybe like a conservative week on the same week, where they can do pro-life one day, pro-gun another day, and just really make it effective.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebuttal?
I agree.
Sam, would you like to come and draw?
Much of the rhetoric coming from both tickets involves ideas and plans that have been offered in the past, but never actually happened. Why should we believe that you will follow through on your plans if elected?
Doesn't matter who answers first.
All right.
You look at my record, you look at the things I've had control over as far as specific things I've ran. The incentive program last year, we made 175,000 voter contacts statewide. I don't know of any other state federation in this union that made that many voter contacts in an off-year election, especially for an issue election. We didn't have a statewide Senate, we didn't have any statewide races, just issue elections for collective bargaining reform and to defeat Obamacare. 175,000 voter contacts is, I think, something to be very proud of, something we talked about last year, increase in our field program. That's another thing I've done. And coupled with that, fundraising is something we ran on last year, and we were able to raise roughly about $12,000 to send the incentive programs out to CPAC. So that's something we ran on last year, and it's something I did. So you can look at my record as far as voter contacts that we've helped commit, as well as me traveling around to chapters. I think I hit around between 12 and 15 chapters traveling around the state. Last election, I put about 8,000 miles on my car in the span of about 6 to 8 weeks before the election. So coupled with that and the fundraising we did for the incentive program to get chapters out to CPAC, you can see what I've said I was going to do and how I've done it.
The question says that there's a lot of ideas that have been tossed around in previous years that have maybe never been followed through with, and that's probably because, in every election we all have the same pretty much goal for the OCRF, which is to make it successful, to paint Ohio red. And again, you can look at my experience as a chairwoman of Marietta College Republicans, because as chair of the OCRF, it's still an executive branch, and you can see how I've led at Marietta. My freshman year, I was vice chair. We only had 4 members. I've been chair for 2 years, and we now have 50 members on our roster. We have done our conservative week for the first time this year, bringing Kate Obenchain this Thursday after raising over $3,500 just with our chapter. We don't get any kind of funds from our students in it unless we specifically ask for it, and then it's neither here nor there. You might not really get anything. Under my leadership, we've started our first ever fundraiser dinner, my first year as president, and raised over $3,000 to send all of my CRs to CPAC without cost. The next year, we did it again, but raised over $3,500 to send, again, all of my CRs to CPAC without cost. We've done countless hours of volunteer efforts, and I've also worked with the OCRF as executive director with Josh Burton, and everything he's ever given to me, I've done to the full, my full capacity, and I will continue to do that if elected as OCRF chairman.